Blessings to
Uh,
everyone.
eternal
And
power.
blessings to everybody.
Yeah, just here to prove that the black family is not finished because I am Source Energy, aka Coach King Malik. Here with my king sons, and this is not all of them. So the proof, the foundation is being set because I refuse to lose. And looking at my team, you'll see why I feel that way. It's all love and respect. It's honor to our people, honor, power, and this is to who looks like me. This is who can see me for who I and what I truly am, and this is to everyone who comes within the sound of my voice. Peace, love, and eternal power. Ashe.
Ashe,
Ashe.
Ashe.
All is well. All is well. Nobody over here on no perfect stuff either. This is just something that we want to do because I know energy flows. I've learned so much about the differences of how we exist. So no play. Time to do what we got to do, and I'm just gonna bring it best way we can. We don't even have really much of a subject matter other than the fact that we can dialogue together and show you that families do exist out here. You know, fathers, sons, daughters. Mothers and fathers. No matter what disagreements we have, because we have a lot of things to go through. I'm a father. I'm a king to my queen. Yeah, it takes some shit when you got to deal with a family. It takes some real shit, and you got to be built for it. You can't be on that baby stuff if you want this thing to work out. It's just factual to the what it is, and all is well in the aspect of everyone who comes into contact with this video. I will that it assists you in any kind of way positive in knowing that we out here. We need to collectively come together and figure out how. Not even figure out. You already know how. Just go inside of yourself. Check. Go to the mirror and know that the next man is your brother. You got to help. The foundation set. All that stuff from the past. Everybody was given a different story, and all of the stories were wrong. You know what I'm saying? Well, I'm gonna say let's not say wrong because I don't want to disrespect anything like that. I don't want to be on no anti anything. All of the stories were different, and because they were different, we need to come to an understanding and truth. And I say wrong for me. I just don't want to be, in the sense of too much feeling of, disrespect anybody else's feelings, which that's not the main part. The universe is most important. Don't want to disrespect the universe and the way the energy has been set forth on it, or in it, around it, however y'all want to see it. Okay, so it's just an aspect. I'm a father of 8 sons, 4 daughters. Um, and my queen and I, we have been together for 26 plus years now, married for 23. Uh, like it would be impossible for me to sit here and say that the black family is finished. Now, I'm not gonna say we got some serious issues, and if we don't change, then yeah, the potential for finish is very, very, very big. You know what I'm saying? But that's you got to understand. I don't know what changed. I'm born in 1968, and I was always told if you 1% black, you black, and that's how they treated you until they started pushing the agenda in a different way. So when they started doing that, everything became, you know, uh, different. You know what I'm saying? That's all I say, and I keep it to what it is. When it's 1% black, it's black. So I'm not saying that, I'm not saying jump outside of your culture to find your, you make your happiness, but I'm saying make your happiness wherever you are because it's going to turn black. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't really matter like that. It matters more in the sense of your honor to our culture and being able to preserve it and keep it in the sense of what it should be. But on some for real, we got to just be in the space of understanding that we have to support each other the best we can. And if we can get this, if we can get it done some kind of way, in a way of, togetherness, then we need to focus on that, you know. And I give everyone of mine the opportunity to see how they choose to and all of that, and feel things, but certain things, as a man, you're going to have to enforce. You know what I'm saying? It's just a point of the matter. You're going to have to enforce. You're not going to be able to let them have their own intention of it, or well, you're going to have to let me rephrase that. You're going to have to let them have their own, ideology and intention of everything, but you need to give them a good influence to see the different forms of it and why and how shit turns out as a result of how you do see things. So in all aspects of things, it's just that These are just small times. We're gonna go live just to prove, okay, if my teenagers are willing to talk to me about things, and I'm willing to talk to them about things, we be real with each other because we understand more the concept of what we are, what's up against us, and what we're responsible for. And I don't want mine to, feel go out here in this world thinking they have things against them, because the power of the source that is within us gives us way more advantage than, the story of, what is against us consistently. Now we know what's against us. We came here with this black skin, this dark, this brown melanated skin. Okay, we came here with that. We chose to come here with that in a vibrational realm of things we know now. And I've been able to find that out before I've transitioned, before I've made my transition. Been able to give it to my seeds at an early time. So they've been able to even bring it back to me in the sense of strength to understand that, yeah, we do co-create for them to teach us once we give them the foundation of what is, because things change and they came for the change. They came because the change, it belongs to them. And since they, write the rules, we need to be, tapped into them. All that bullshit about the older cats not being able to deal with the younger cats, man, you better do everything you can to try to build relationships with as many younger people as you can, especially brothers, and instill, show them, yeah, man, we didn't get it right. I had a lot of OG cats didn't treat me right, like, but I had more, one saw my, my discipline and saw the type of person I was, and I could see it. And then the much older ones always affected me. My stepfather, and that's another thing. That's one of the things that I wanted to say. The black family has to exist for me because I had a stepfather. Excuse me.
Excuse.
I had a stepfather that, they came into my life at about 14, 13. Well, he came around 12, but my mom married him at 13. I was about 13, I think. And the man impacted me tremendously because he was a Mason. He taught me a lot. Plus, he was like 20 years older than my mom, and he was just, the Mason thing was for educational purposes, because I didn't understand the religion thing. I was attempting to, but I didn't understand it. So I was moving a certain way, and he would always, give me these jewels, and he told me. So he influenced me that, a lot of information. He told me a lot of stuff before I actually went and did it myself. But when I turned 18, I went and became, I rode that. I did what I was supposed to do to get an understanding of that. Now, I didn't have a clear understanding of it then as much as I do now, because as I've lived life, I've been a Muslim. I learned that what the degrees are, everything. That's too deep to get into, but because that goes past what we're speaking about, the black family. I'm just saying that he influenced me a lot to make sure I keep my structure tight as a black man. And because of that, me being involved with these early teachings of the ancients, and I learned that shit way before I realized I learned it. And because I didn't have the blockage as a child from 0 to 13 of no religion or nothing, I see why it is stuck in me now, and why my children get why my seeds, that's the only thing I desire for them, even after being, attempting to try to follow all of these different cultures and, I mean, these different, religions, not cultures, but religion. Yeah, cultures too, because a lot of them tied them two together, but religions more so. And I grew from that tremendously, because I don't have a desire for a religion anymore, but I am source. I understand now that the source is the understanding of the wisdom, of the knowledge. All the books, they mean something. Everything means something. Numbers, everything means something. So times, and then, it just came to the degrees and everything, and understanding and going through things and having the experience of really, really finding and having to raise a queen that didn't have a system of support to start with. So her father thing was out the way, but she was so, moldable because of her life, wanting, naturally, I believe, for me, because of my experience. I used to meet a lot of women and deal with them, and I learned that most of them really want to be in relationships. They seem like it. They just don't have the capability to hold it down, because we as men do require a lot of shit. We require some things that, like on an emotional side, I'm saying, and they don't have that kind of emotion that they didn't get it from another man, because a man know what a man need for real. I ain't trying to say on no gay shit. I'm talking about, as a man, I know what my sons need to feel, the proper emotion because I know what I need to feel for my woman, and I can explain that to them. I can share that with them, and I can show them because when my queen is doing what she's supposed to, they see how I vibe. When she's not, they don't know if she's not until I'm not vibing right because it's not like that's a dependency, but it is kind of when you have a foundation and you know you got to keep this shit, the schedule tight. You know what I'm saying? And nobody can tell me anything if you don't have 12 children in your home. I still have 11 in the home with me, and we homeschool. And my queen had to hold it down. So that excuse about these females not wanting to do shit or what they will and won't do, that's a bunch of bullshit. Like that's just a bunch of, you make a decision. You want to, be emotionally attached to your masculinity because you don't want to be told nothing because no man had the balls enough to tell you if he wasn't, like your father or whatever. Because I only see, the ones that seem to be solid. No, let me say this. I can't say I only see. I see the special cases being the ones that easier to accept this situation and the ones that had a solid foundation. The ones who didn't have no solid, or they had a female perspective and, or a male perspective that was always on some other stuff, that's different. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, I think it's a chosen thing. And we can't say it's over because honestly, we can't say it's finished. I tell them to vibrate right. All you got to do is stay in the mirror, keep your vibration up, and then you're going to be all right because you're going to attract who you are. Now, if you're on the bullshit, you know what you get? You get bullshit when you vibrate bullshit. So don't expect to get anything better than that. You know what I'm saying? So, and I just got everybody present just for a few minutes to speak, and I want to keep on keeping it moving. Did y'all want to say anything? You know what I'm saying?
I enjoyed listening to you talk.
Yeah, that was wonderful right there.
All as well. I wasn't, like this was just a live because I wanted y'all to. I want us to be present more together, online because that's what I don't really see. Like a man and a lot of their sons. Now I got a couple of cats I see that they be on there with their sons, and I got a lot of respect for them. And they're way ahead of anything that I'm doing video wise, and like stuff like that. It's the vibe I'm talking about. Every man who wants to support a man or his family and in the right respectful way. And I don't know vindictive, hateful shit because you can't get it right. I'm talking about no jealousy, none of that, no old black techniques, no religion thought processes. I don't care if you was a Muslim, Buddhist, I don't give a damn if you had anything to do with religion. Respectfully, don't bring that kind of ideology to the table when you're dealing with, attempting to bring peace and honor to a group of Black men, especially because most of us were raised by a woman at some point. If a man didn't come and save our moms in a sense, and that's really in a sense I say save because my mom was aggressive as hell and she went back. I don't know how that would have turned out. I'm just grateful that it turned out it did because I love my mom. I didn't see her doing the other things I see other dudes' moms do and hear about, and I'm just grateful I never experienced none of that in my face. I don't say that. Women do some different things, so I can't say what nobody does, has done. You know what I'm saying? So, but the Black family exists even when people try to tear it down. Mine is going to exist even when people try to tear it down because, I started from the gutter with this and was just, shitted on from the start. Not from my queen now, but, it's a story. It's stories to tell. That's a whole different thing. But nobody get to win but me. Nobody get to win but this situation right here. I refuse to lose. I didn't come here to create or co-create, anything that would be harmful to the world. Everything that I want to have or everything that I have anything to do with or will have anything to do with will be something that assists the world to a better space. That's my love from my heart.
Yes,
You know
sir.
what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It don't have to be long. It don't have to be like, these lives can pop up all the time. Because I don't have a set time. I think that I don't know how that really works, Lamar. You got to get up on that, I guess, with the algorithms or something. If that's something.
Oh, I know exactly what to do.
Just to get it in rotation, because I want to share this with people and just get anybody that will listen to, listen, add to, object to. I don't care about that. I'm not really looking for the anti shit unless it's something that we can that we can creatively, build from to, not necessarily change opinions, but maybe build opinions to where maybe I didn't see it that way, but I'm open-hearted. You know what I'm saying? My mind is controlled in my space. I'm open hearted to be, especially to my brothers. We have to do something. I know my sons have to be my king sons have to be out here with your king sons, and I don't want them to cross the path the wrong way because I'm sure we both have equipped our sons. We should have equipped our sons how to defend themselves. They don't want to defend themselves for the wrong reasons. I know yours don't. I'm not attempting to put mine in that perspective, and I know that comes from our thoughts, man. That comes from us putting our perspectives and our influences in the right place and stand out the way with the bullshit. Like,
Yes, sir.
because the
Yes, sir.
bullshit is local. It's easy.
It is.
That's the shit that's easy to do. It's easy to pop up, on the crap. It's easy to be involved in the dumb shit. It's easy to, I mean, especially in these environments where they tell you you can't show up and you're just a black man looking like you got a little something. You might not have too much of anything. The little bit stuff you got, you might just keep it clean. The next thing you know, you got people pulling up on you, telling you that you out of line and you don't even have no. I'm just saying that's an attracted energy. It seems like it happens to people who don't. It shouldn't happen to anyone, but it seems like it just seems to happen to people who, like, oh my goodness, I couldn't believe that happened to him, but he ain't even that type. Those are the examples that make sure you're supposed to pay attention to the detail of the things that's going on. That's just the process part of it.
Mhm.
Exactly. Like
Definitely.
you just said,
Yes, sir.
it seems like a test kind of.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
everybody comes across a particular thing to test them.
Oh yeah.
Because if they are that good of a person to begin with, that's a scenario to test them to see if they're keeping themselves in line, basically.
Yeah, no doubt. And you hollering that good shit, you're gonna have to prove it.
Yeah,
The universe
exactly.
don't give you that opportunity to keep on boasting and bragging about something you are, and then you don't get tested on it and have to prove it. That's not how this works. Well, how this works is you keep on putting it out there so that you can deal with it, so you can get to the next part of what it is you're supposed to do.
Yes,
Because
sir,
we got
exactly.
shit to do.
Yes,
Y'all
sir.
know
Yes,
y'all
sir.
got shit to
Big-
do. I'm constantly
time.
telling y'all they can't. I mean, they should be doing their own lives, basically telling off the shit. I just keep on explaining to them because I am telling y'all know, brothers, if you got any children, hey, buckle down on your own ass so they don't have no excuse when you say something to them. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the thing. Like, you got to be accountable for this. As a man, that's even like your brother, your little brother, your big brother. We supposed to be accountable to each other as men. You know what I'm saying? Because out here, your ass is in trouble if you get caught in the wrong place by yourself. You know what I'm saying? So you need to be adapted to. You need to have it created and paid it forward to create as much energy, vibrational chi in advance. So if you have to go through any of that, it'll just automatically go in your favor. The energy will flow. The hardest of the killers will look at you and be like, hey man, I know you ain't with the shit. Go and get out of here, man. But you on that, you pop up, you looking like you on that rah-rah, you get on that rah-rah, next thing you know, you got the shit to deal with because don't nobody out here playing like that. You know what I'm saying? Nobody is out here playing like that. I had not in these times. They didn't play like that in my times. And it was dangerous because we moving around with everything automatic, like money and everything that other people want that will not go work for or do what we doing to get. So y'all have to watch y'all's asses. Y'all have to watch y'all's vibration by keeping your stuff in line. And then just don't, I mean, I know I'm gonna tell y'all, I'm gonna tell everybody on this panel, y'all know me, y'all my children, y'all my seeds, but I'm gonna say to everyone who's listening to this, you can't make them do nothing. You can only influence. You can then be your best to influence them. They'll be in your face and they'll tell you, yeah, 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 and they won't be doing what the hell they say. That yeah will be it'll be the actual no, and they be telling you yeah because they know that shit gonna throw you off because you trust them. You know what I'm saying? You have to build this up. It has to be, it's earned. Like it's like a feeling of connection, and then it goes through time. Okay, as a loving parent, and you start out good loving your children, it's automatically, I'm telling you from truth. Look at this. My dudes then they actively came on here just because they knew I was coming on here. Can I get on there with you? Yeah. I was gonna go in here by myself because it's time to start doing it, but I'm never going. This was just a good point to prove. Like, the black family is not finished. These dudes support me on everything. I mean, I teach them things and they do shit for me. See, all of them are grown basically. Anybody who's over 13 is a grown-up in my house, basically a pre-grown person, because they are getting the things that are necessary for the foundation of family. You dig what I'm saying? So we're not starting out. I started them off really early in understanding the human anatomy, the whole shit, because everybody's gonna get horny as hell. Everybody's gonna want to play with their balls and the little parts and shit like that. Everybody's gonna do things, you know what I'm saying? And I just keep it real because we've had to deal with some real situations. My children have had, all kind of okay, first me, I've had an addiction. I was addicted to hustling and all kind of dirty shit. Like, I mean, I'm just saying addiction is real because your children get it, you don't realize that's what it is, and they hide shit from you because first of all, that's not what I influenced you to. I didn't even share that with you. Okay, this is the process of making sure your family foundation is tight. You don't you share everything with them, but you give them explanation. And for me, I told them and always tell them all the way down to my 7-year-old. And when they was all the way one, when they started understanding English with the language of connection to me, I was always honest with them, telling them, look, y'all can come do anything with me. Talk to me about things. Do not, I don't want to be like, a parent that my biological father, the first years he was in my life, he wasn't like that with me. Well, he tell me stuff, but he wasn't never, kick my ass type person. I just had a certain fear of this man that he just, and I don't think it was fear. It was so much, man showed me so much love, man. It's just, I think I feared to make him upset with me because I loved him so much. That's how I can explain that. And children, if you've been a child before, everybody that's grown been a child. Don't act like if you got a mom or a dad that you didn't do that. You know what I'm saying? That's we do some extra things when the parents be on some other shit. We want to make them feel better. And sometimes as a child, I'm an only child, so I used to see my mom go through things, and I could feel every fucking emotion she had. So that's what made me different in life as well. I had to deal with that shit, but it didn't make me soft emotion because she always just threatened me that I could not get hurt in the streets. I could not, if anything happened to me, what would be going on with her? So if I decide to do anything, I better be the hardest at it. I be the best at it, and I ain't got nobody to come home to and shit like that to help me. So that's the reason why I think I was blessed because of that, that energy. And then, the fact of my mom told me I could do anything I set my mind to. When she told me that, I knew I could accomplish my life early. And a lot of other things, children get subtle hints because I know I see my children doing miraculous things and they're geniuses. And I know I'm a genius. I was a genius to start too, but I never knew that that's what, they were. My mom always told me they loved me. They always told me that. They always showed me my father did the same, all my family members and stuff like that. But my cousin, well, my relatives, everybody else, everybody that I loved, even my mom and dad to a point, shit on me. Like I've never had a friend a loved one that I call a friend that didn't shit on me in some kind of way. And I can't say that I'm not guilty of the same in the way they may have seen it or how I may have been in a certain space. And I have apologized so many times for that. I ask forgiveness for, every aspect of that.
Everybody does it though.
Yeah, but everybody don't ask for forgiveness. Everybody don't stay on their own ass about it either, because I was saying that today, okay, you do something to somebody, okay, they think about, okay, you do something to somebody today. They think about this stuff all the way 3 months from now. Okay, you finally apologize. You really need to figure out how to apologize for 3 months because they thought about it. It's like it's never, because you're not going to forget it. And by the time they apologize, it's not going to apologize and cover up all the times they thought about it after you did it. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying it's a way to view that situation, because just forgiveness. I'm constantly asking for forgiveness on everything I do because I'll get aggressive. I'm always aggressive. I'm not supposed to not be aggressive. Shit, I turned down for this little stuff right here. I'm on tilt. I have to be. I got men, grown ass men doing things sometimes that little kids don't do when they be on the bullshit. So I have to be turned up. I have to make sure that they know I ain't bullshitting. And they can't be bullshitting because it's life gonna do something for them. Especially now, you can't stumble around. This ain't no bullshit.
No,
you know what I'm saying? It's no games. It's no games. You don't get a chance to play. You know what I'm saying? You don't get a chance to play. Not for real. Not in this time. Y'all see what's going on. I've given you so many illustrations, and you have had the own experiences of your own to examine that stuff for yourself. And because prison made me view every bit of my life, the whole day, man. Look, I saw my life several times over, and I was there in my 20s. So I saw my life several times over in my 20s. So it don't take, and I'm gonna tell you something. All of us who've been there, you know this, and who have had a traumatic experience that really took you away from your freedom in your mind, even, you know what I'm saying? Even if it wasn't physical, you know that affects a deep part of you when lose your physical freedom and have to face the demons that you actually, introduced yourself and help assisted you to get there. You dig what I'm saying? It's like
Yes,
that's
sir.
one of the things that, man, I tell you, I'm so grateful that I had that experience before transition to have to come back and attempt to reestablish the shit to start with you guys. I'm grateful that that was before you all, and Source and I had an agreement, that I would be able to go through this and then be the best example and influence and have the words to say that's necessary. Because honestly speaking, y'all know this is for real. Y'all know this is all day, every day. I tell you like life, how life is, and I show you how life is, and I let you go through the shit. So I appreciate y'all trusting me, man.
I appreciate you,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Always.
Appreciate
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Thank you
no
for being a person worth trusting.
doubt.
Always.
Yeah, well, I learned I didn't have nobody else to trust, and the only way you're gonna get somebody to trust you is you have to learn how to trust somebody. But it's an intuition, and that's what I'm grateful to my mom about. I'm grateful to the part about being around a woman that is like my mom. You know what I'm saying? For a young part, because yeah, I had some other kind of ways, but I'm a masculine already. My mom forced me. I was that anyway, but she realized that she wasn't going to be able to. First of all, she always influenced me to be the man of the house. She's old school. She was born in '43, so she got that thing going on. A man is supposed to be the man of the house. She was attempting to let my father do that, but my father was a Rolling Stone. He was in Motown. He was heavy with the Temptations, background and stuff, because the Temptation, Eddie Kendricks was my mother's relative, as a matter of fact, and he had his mind. He was able to. Be, in a different space and not really paying attention to the detail of the certain things that were taking place with around him and stuff. So it's just that kind of thing. And we all grow up, a lot of us grow up like that. So, but in turn, I had to be a grown up early. And that's why I know that I'm built for, raising kings. I had to be, and then I had, like I say, Harry Cornelius Gibson. That was this king's name, this God's name, this source connect source connections name that actually came into my mom's life when I was a young teenager, and really changed the projective of my stuff, because I was angry as hell when she moved me down south. I was angry. If it wasn't for him, I know him and one or two other people, but he being the me being in the home with him and him taking care of me and doing what he does. Because I hear people saying about, should you be a stepfather? I can only say this: if you find the right woman and she has children, I would say that would be your responsibility. But with a clear understanding, if you want to really set a tone for being a good person, just have clarity and communication, because all of these young men need some supervision. They need a father figure, even if they got it. It doesn't hurt for a young man to have two father figures, because my elder father, the one who was, like my mom's husband, he actually told me not to have a grudge with my father, because he met him, he knew him, and they had he just he didn't know him from before. He just met him from my mom, because he wanted to make sure that it was a respect relationship between him and him, so that I wouldn't have a conflict in life. Because this man's first wife ran off with his children, and he just had a different way of doing things. And he was a good father. I say he's like I can't say my father loved the shit out of me, but he wasn't a father. He loved me, and he wasn't a father figure. He was my father, my biological father, but he wasn't a father figure. But he showed me so much love that I knew that if he knew that how to do that, he would have done a hell of a good job. That's how I feel. But because he was blessed with an intercessor that had his back, it kind of kept me on track to, not lose faith in him. And I'm just grateful for that, because story to tell to assist others to be like, man, just look and find the good in whatever you was able to find in, and don't hold no grudges, and see how the ancestors will tap you into some better things that apply to you. Realize how important it is, because I thought, for a minute there when my mom was on her rampage, I thought that my father wasn't shit for real, because I wasn't hearing from him. I found out damn near in my 40s that my father had been calling me, contacting me, and she admitted to it. That let me know how dirty females are. You know what I'm saying? My mom, but I had learned she was dirty. I learned no, I ain't gonna say. Let me pull that back. I don't mean like she was dirty, yeah, but she was on some dirty shit at some point. I recognize that way early. You know what I'm saying? And that wasn't all the females that I had ever met, because one of my older female cousins, when I was 8, she was 16, and she did everything she was supposed to do, what she thought she was supposed to do to me, to that. I guess she thought I was her 16-year-old boyfriend. She, taught me a valuable lesson, let's say. And that's when I learned ain't no such thing as no birds, no fucking bees. You know what I'm saying? I been knew that when no birds and bees, like for real, but ain't no fair game for that. Females will do whatever the fuck, and that's what I've recognized. And males the same. Don't get it twisted, because I'm not a perfect dude. I've done some shit that I've been ashamed for. I feel like only God could forgive me, and that's what I felt. That's what I still feel, and that's where I got my forgiveness from. And the people who were involved, like I said, please forgive me for anything. I ain't never raped nobody, never did no stupid shit like that. But I'm saying, like, things that you do, you deal with certain people that you know are not on your level and shit like that, and different things you focus on. You got to keep your focus and your balance to make sure you do right by people, and you can't do like things with people are not balanced on your level, because no matter what you try to help them with, it's gonna if they're not vibrating where you are, wherever you're trying to help them, you can't pull them up to your level to help them, because you got to be on their level in order to do anything for them, unless they're reaching up to your level and they're attempting to do things to get to that. It's a waste of energy. That's my own experience. I've helped literally people with millions of dollars, like, to show them how to invest, and because their energy is so the way it is, they would, this the way they go about it, they wouldn't invest the way instruct last consulted. You know what I'm saying? And it's interesting, because the ones that did, they are always doing good for themselves. And the ones that don't, they don't. And those are the ones that don't apply no kind of credibility to themselves in terms of attempting to better yourself, like getting some kind of coach, or getting some kind of course or something that can teach you something, just constantly, going through the stuff. Everybody knows you need a coach. Everybody that's successful, all the successful entrepreneurs that I know, that I have ever had contact with, have had a coach, and the more they pay, the further they seem to be and understand and have, connections to, because it's about proximity as well. You get these coaches to get proximity, because once they see the potential in you, and you are, sincere about what you do, and if you have a sincere responsibility to what's going on in life, then hey, they recognize it, because none of us. I'm wanting my sons and daughters to be coaches in their lives. I mean, artists and everything they do, but I want them to take what they've learned and help somebody. And we don't always get paid for that, you know what I'm saying, at all. But I do get paid. I get paid more than money for that, because I got my parents still here. I know all of our time is not, infinite physically, but spiritually it is. So I got them here in this time to be able to share with them things that they wouldn't have even entertained during their time. You know what I'm saying? But because life has done what it's done, things have gone the way they've gone, they've been more open. My mom, who's been a Christian all her life, she's still a Christian, which I respect and I love her for, because her prayers, the things that she's been casting on me, she has been put blessings on my life since day one. So I'm grateful for that. I'm just so grateful even more that I see the growth from being willing to listen after wouldn't hear shit I gotta say, like nothing about nothing. If it ain't got God in it, you can't talk to me. If you ain't letting me talk to you about the Bible, I can't talk to you. And I mean, just conflict. You know what I'm saying? Just constant conflict. When I'm attempting to keep the elder in the home because of the family structure. The black, so you got to do what you got to do, man. You can't get mad at them into, you know, to the point, because if you keep moving, they're gonna need you eventually. And I'm not saying, I mean, it takes whatever it takes, man. It might take them to the deathbed, you know what I'm saying, to even see it. And it might be, and when they make the transition is when they may come into consciousness of it all. And you don't, it's not about any credit anyway. It's not like it's gonna matter if they say, hey, I see you was right, even if it's because it's what they might go straight to heaven like they think that is, because whatever you think it is, that's what I think it is. Like, I think for you, if you think you'll go to heaven for praying and, you know, being, you know, follower of what the Christians or whatever, the Muslims or whatever, you know, the Hindus or whatever, I support everything that you have to do that works to that positive. I don't support anything that has to do with that in terms of being negative or, you know, pulling anybody into the trap by making it confusion. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't have to, man, we got enough confusion. We need to drop that and realize that you're the thinker. You don't even need any of that anymore. That's a wrap. You had enough. If you over 30, shit, if you over 30 for real, you had plenty of enough, because you got the internet. You could debunk a lot of things. You could have, and I was debunking stuff before internet was existing, because I just didn't feel it. And because I was born, when I was born, my intuition stayed jumping. You know what I'm saying? Stay jumping. Don't give no action to nothing. Won't let nothing just bypass me. And now that I've got these children, I'll be like, that I'm looking around feeling, and I could check my traps. Now I know my traps are my loved ones, the ones who are closest to me, because I feel my feelings for them first. I feel for me, but it's a certain feeling. It's a tag for me. I know when there's some shit on me. So I keep the shit off me. You know what I'm saying? I stay in the shadow work. I stay doing what I'm supposed to do. I stay passing the baton of the shadow work, doing Ki Jung, Ki Chung, to help, you know, transition that chi is one of the best things that ever happened to me and my whole association. Like, it really is something that raises your vibration. I'm already on some really high pretension, some high perspective meditating and mastering the form of, you know, getting out of this physical being while still alive in this physical being, and being in the, you know, quantum field, creating and building for the energy in this physical being to be able to, you know, help us prosper better, because the ancestors are giving it to us. I realize that these Akashic records, meditations and stuff like that really is sincere. The chakra meditations and really, really focusing on you, and really like not really following any, it's ways to get to learn how to meditate and learn how to connect, but it's ways to feel your heart and know that what you feel is right. What you really feel and what you feel is wrong is wrong. Like, you know the feeling. You know the feeling. All of us have it innately, and us as melanated people have it in its height. And everybody says that online, but for real, I'm 54 years old, and I've been knowing this like for a long time without anybody giving me any information. So I could relate to people who read and understand shit immediately, like Rod Hayes. I can relate to people like Bobby Hemmett. I can relate to, you know, people like Billy Carson. You know what I'm saying? Black Magic 363. I can relate to the loved ones, Kevin. You know what I'm saying? I can relate to these cats that really have an open perspective of knowing. I can relate to the perspective of, you know, us not being, well, first of all, men not being, you know, monogamous, but at the same time, it's a choice that all people make. Like, you know, you can do that, but the system wasn't set like that. But it's a choice, and it doesn't have to be forced on nobody. But the issues are for real. If you want to restructure the families, that's going to have to be something that probably be looked at for those who it fits for. You know what I'm saying? If you presented your situation already strong enough and you know you're good, then keep it moving. But if not, you know some assistance needs to be helped. Y'all figure that shit out. Like, because you're going to be beefing anyway. You're going to be doing the dumb shit anyway. It just doesn't make any sense. So, you know, we can all help each other by just being respectful to each other and being, since you know you came here in this human experience and you know that you're a spirit being, you know, we all are connected as one. So figure out the way. If you see where something can make something better for you and the people around you, please just do it. Just do it. Just do that thing and watch how it affects other people, because people are gonna be like, how y'all get along like that? How y'all make this work? And I'm not talking about just girl relationships, boy. You know, I'm not talking about just polygamy relationships. I'm talking about, polygamy relationships. I'm speaking about relationships in general, friends and people, because this is where we got to start. You know, we got to start with people. We got to start with us. Got to start with the people. You know what I'm saying? The people that surround us. You know what I'm saying? And those people that surround them. And it's a snowball effect. You know what I mean? So just said, I just want to say, here's proof. Yeah, a couple of them ducked out on me, but that.
No, I've actually been. You see, my phone was close to dying. I went in and got the charger. I'm actually in right now.
Oh, but
Mine
see,
had
you're not
one,
recording. You're not recording though. You're on. You can still see yourself.
Mm-mm.
Excuse me. You can't. I don't think you're recording on the on. Oh yeah, you are. You on here on voice.
Oh, so I'm on a different one.
Well, no. I see. No, I'm tripping, man. I just realized what. Okay, because I got this Rodecaster connected, and I got the restream going through the Rodecaster. You can still be heard even if you can't be seen, because I got the volume.
Yes, sir. Of course.
Okay, cool. So that's what's up. And it was just cool for your video to be up because they could see you, but I still got you connected.
Yeah, exactly.
Via the audio. Yeah. So,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's what's up. But yeah, all is well. We have 41 minutes, 30 seconds, and I want to.
Always said the food's finished.
I'm ready for it. We fasted. We break fast. That's what time it is.
I already tried one of the tomatoes that she made. She let me get one of the smaller ones when I went there to go get my charger. That was
Dude, you know how to be. Look, man. Hold that. I'm about to go in here now. Get to that too. Fried green tomatoes, but they're air fried. No grease, baby. No grease. Nobody's body got grease up in this. But anyway, thank you. Thank you all. Anybody who sees this video, please give it a like and subscribe if it resonates with you. We will that the energy from my life, from my heart, from the love that I possess in my spirit. I will that it affects everyone who looks like me, everyone who can see me for who I am, for what I am, and my intention, and everyone who comes within the sound of my voice. And so it is.
And so it is.
So it is.
Ashe.
Ashe.
Peace. Hotep.
Peace.
Hotep.
Hotep.